Check out woozymood.com for anything and everything collectibles.
Hello fellas, today I will be reviewing the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Legends class Skrapnel. So yeah, we did get a slight repaint and a reissue essentially of the Titans Return Skrapnel, which I will compare to this new version of Skrapnel later in the video. It was pretty easy for Hasbro to do this, am I right? He wasn't a headmaster, no retooling, had to be involved. All they had to do, essentially, was change the color very, very slightly in two aspects, which again I will show later in this video. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's finish my Legends reviews of Power of the Prime so we can move on to the Voyager and Leader stuff later on. So, of course, before we take a look at Skrapnel himself, let us take a look at his collector card right here, which is pretty simple. I mean, you do get some nice artwork of Skrapnel right there. Do love that a lot. Really need to get a case for these to put on the wall. And I do get Alchemist Skrapnel. Can travel through electrical pathways. Okay. Cool. And the box is just a box. I mean, Skrapnel down there in his, insect mode. We have some nice artwork right over here. And of course the back shows both modes. And you can pause and read that if you want. So, yeah, and this thing is just falling apart on me. And yeah, he does come with instructions, but I seriously doubt that anybody here cares about the instructions, to be dead honest with you. So, here he is. Let me just put him in just a pretty much a museum pose. One thing I do want to mention, he may slightly look blue on camera. I do apologize for that. My camera's a little bit iffy with these things, but trust me, he's a pretty vibrant purple. Give you guys a 360. Very G1 accurate. Now, I never reviewed the Titans Return Skrapnel, but because they are, of course, the same mold, both are very, very accurate to their G1 counterparts. One thing I kind of wish they did, maybe in a Comic-Con exclusive set, would have been to make his claws right here chrome, just like the original G1 toy back in the 80s. That would have been cool. We might still see that in the future. They can definitely chrome up the others, but for now, this is just all you get. So, I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer, and let's just take a look at this guy. Let's look at his head sculpt here, which I think is pretty accurate. I mean, can only get so accurate with something this tiny, and I do love the paint application with, the silver on the face there. They didn't paint the visor, but that's okay. As in a different color than the silver. The helmet is sculpted well, just a nice black plastic. Probably can't see it too well on camera, but it's pretty good. I do have some paint wear right there. Not a big deal, but something to note. Nice Decepticon symbol right there. Is that actually a sticker? No, it looks like, yeah, it's like a decal. Oh well. Nice claws here again. I hope they do a alternate version, but yeah, there you go with those. Some nice detail. Yeah, the back is pretty ugly, but that's okay. I don't really care. I mean, it's not like I'm going to display him like this. So, and one thing I got to note again, he is looking blue on camera. He is purple. Please believe me, this thing is purple. All right. Everything is sculpted here in purple. No extra paint application on any of these legs or the arms or these upper legs. So, which, it's whatever. It's a Legends class figure. You can't expect too much. It's a nice yellow paint right there. I do love the design of these, don't really know, call them vents, I suppose. Some nice detail in the shins right there. Again, some paint decal and maybe some silver, even though it wouldn't have been accurate. It would have been cool, because they're not going for a complete G1 accurate measure. And the feet are quite pointy, but yeah. And these do act as heel spurs right here. I believe these are used as tabs later on. Yeah, I think these are used as tabs. So multi-purpose all the way. And yeah, so he's relatively detailed for a Legends figure. And it's just always nice to get more Insecticons because we don't get a lot of those. Which is sad, but you know. As for articulation, he's pretty articulated. His head can move left and right, but it cannot go the full 360 because just hindrance. These can move in and out for transformation and gimmick. He has a ball-jointed shoulder, so he can pretty much do whatever you need it to do. And of course a ball-jointed elbow. So that's that. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately. No waist swivel either, which is okay. His legs, again, on a ball joint. Move forward that much. Can go back that much. It gets hindered by the leg, but you could probably work around it one way or another. The knees, of course, are on a ball joint, so they do the job. In and out. They can wobble. That kind of uses the thigh rotation there. And the feet can go forward and back. So not an intense, crazy amount of articulation, but it's enough. It's enough for an Insecticon. Oh yeah. So there he is, right there, looking very, very pretty. And I do want to bring in a moment here, some extra Insecticons to show you. And one in particular, and I'm leaning down to get it, is the Titan's Return version right here. And you probably can't tell in the video because I suck at this, color measuring and such, but the Titan's Return one on the left hand side does have a slightly lighter shade of purple in person. That's pretty much it. The only other difference would be the Power of the Primes one has yellow paint up here, and there's black paint up here for the Titan's Return one. But besides that, they are pretty much exactly the same, and my god is this thing dirty. Not dirty, sorry, dusty. He's been on my shelf for a long, long time. Oh no. Yeah. Really nothing too much to compare. There's no other differences aside from those two minor things. Nothing in the head sculpt or anything. I mean, yeah, mine might look a little bit dirtier, but that's just because it's old, and there's no difference in the claws, like the paint or the plastic, so they are identical completely. I'm just trying to examine them, see if there's anything else, but yeah, exactly the same. So there you go with that. I do have other Insecticons here. I do have Kickback right there. And now their purples don't match. So I hope maybe they repaint these other guys for Power of the Primes so we can have two sets of Insecticons. So there they are. Bombshell, can you help me out, bro? Alright. He's dealing with me today. So there you go. There are all three of them, and I think they look wonderful together. And I'll bring in again the Titan's Return one for a moment, just to compare there. So you can tell, right? You can, well, I don't know if you can tell because my camera sucks right now, but this guy kind of sticks out a little bit, the Power of the Primes one, just because of the purple. But honestly, as a partially colorblind person myself, I don't give an F. So let's move this little dude out of the way and do something else for size comparison. I don't think I've showed this guy off in a video yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but here is the big boy. And that sounded pretty weird, but really that's what he is. He's a big guy. The leader class Rodimus Prime, and he is giant compared to the Insecticons. So there you go with that. And of course we can't forget our star. He knows he's elegant. That's why he's important here. Alright. Alright, Mr. Alpaca. Go back to your hiding place. So, I'll get these guys out of the way. And then we can take a look at the transformation and the alt mode. And the transformation, you know, it's fairly simple. I'm going to get a little bit closer here, just for my sake, so we can transform this dude. One thing I like to do first is I do like to close these together. No, the head does not turn all the way around, as I said in the articulation segment, but it hides it pretty well. I do like to push these feet back and then take these vents and slide them over since they are on a hinge, like so. Your first instinct would be to tab them together, but I wouldn't yet, simply because you're going to have to detach the chest piece and slide it forward, making it look like that. And then what you can do is put the legs forward as such, take this crotch piece right here and flip it down. Now you can kind of see that these tabs right here are going to peg into there. And you know, for something like this, you kind of just feel it, right? Nothing's going to be exact because you can't really see, but yeah. And move these legs forward. They snap into place fairly well. Alright, and then push the arms back, rotate the elbows like such, and you will see there is a tab right there, and a port right there. And it, you know, it stays together fairly nicely. Obviously, if you fiddle around with it, it will come apart pretty easily, but it's not too bad. I actually think the right arm stays in better than the left, but it's not a big deal. I could care less. And my card just fell. Damn it. There he is. I think he looks good. He's cool looking. Not articulated at all. Sure, you can move these, but the legs are not articulated. I really, really wish, and it would have made the robot mode messy, is to have the legs on ball joints so you can get some articulation out of this little guy, but it's not a big deal, honestly. And there's really not much detail I can show off because, you know, I already showed, this is basically the robot mode, right? There's nothing new here. And I'm not ranting on this guy. I think he's really, really cool. I do love the Insecticon molds. I think they work well. And I'm going to give you guys a 360. Sorry if it's too dark or whatever. I'm still working out my new lighting setup in my background. But I think for what you pay, for what you get, it's good. And one thing I just noticed now as I said that is, for some reason, I don't know if you can, yeah, I guess you can kind of tell on camera, this one, this claw is actually raised and this one is lowered, and that's kind of annoying, but whatever. There he is. He's pretty cute, right? Even though he's a bug. Better than that stupid Michael Bay insect from Revenge of the Fallen, which was just pitiful. Really was pitiful. My God. Okay. Let's transform this guy back. Pretty simple. Untab the arms. Push them forward. Put these little insect people legs down. And really, from here on out, it's just untabbing everything. Lift that crotch piece down. Put the vents back to the side of the legs. Easier said than done because they can actually be pretty tight. I'm struggling. There we go. It's because I'm on camera that I'm struggling on a $10 figure, but yeah, that's my life. And lift this down and really, essentially, you're done. Just got to put those claws back in place. And he has some tight joints, which I do like. Always nice to have tight joints, so you know he's not going to flop around everywhere. And put those out. No, he does not come with any weapons or accessories. A little blaster would have been cool, but they don't really do that with Legends figures anymore, except with that Brawn. And that was just the roof of the car, whatever it was, the back. I truly, for the life of me, can't recall exactly what it was, but that's about it. My thoughts on this figure, whilst I attempt to put him in a decent pose as I remove my little turntable. I think that if you own the Power of the Primes, the Titans Return version, this is really not a necessity. It really isn't. I'm pretty much a hardcore Transformers collector, so I got this one, and actually I didn't even go to the store and pick it out. My brother got it for me for my birthday, but if he hadn't, I would have gotten it anyway, but that's just me. I want to get every single Transformer I see. That's, you know, mainline stuff, not like the preschool crap, which, you know, isn't bad, but you get my drift. But if you're casual and you already own the Titans Return one, it's really not a necessity, because essentially the only difference in all of this, in everything, is a slightly different shade of purple and some yellow paint on the top. That's what you're working with this new fig, which is not a crazy, you know, a crazy difference, but for someone like me, and I'm sure David, that can make a difference. So, and it kind of makes me want a Bombshell and a Kickback in that same style. So Hasbro, I don't know what you were doing with this guy, why you reissued him first out of the others, because I feel like if any were to be reissued, it would be Bombshell, just because I think he's the oldest, if not Kickback, but Skrapnel was kind of everywhere for a while. So, and Kickback wasn't too prominent back in the day. Anyway, do I recommend this if you don't have the other one? Sure. If you do have the other one, not a necessity. There you go with that. As usual, fellas, please check out the Sanctuary on Facebook, as well as all the content creators of the Sanctuary, all of which are listed down below. Please check out our YouTube channel, which is also linked down below, where we currently host our Toy Show podcasts every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Anybody is welcome to join. Please just send me or any of the other admins your email, and I'll add you into the Google Hangouts call when we stream. And I just do want to emphasize, because I've been getting tons and tons of messages from people asking, hey, can I join? How long can I join for? You can join for 1 minute if you want, and then you can leave. You can join for 3 hours, and then you can leave. You can stay for as long as you want or for as little time as you want. People filter in and out. Really, the only permanent kind of people who are going to stay throughout the entire live stream are me, obviously, Matt, David, and Vinny. So there you go with that. Yeah, that's kind of a mouthful. Sorry, I won't do that in every video, I promise. And with that said, people, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment. Check out my site at SunSpotReviewz.com, and I'll see you guys in my next video.